AMTs are an important part of aviation safety. It's the aircraft owner's responsibility to ensure the aircraft is airworthy. The bottom line, your AMT must be properly certified. This video will assist you with the information you need concerning the certifications your AMT must carry. Knowing this information is part of a safe and thorough pre-flight.
Morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Hey, you the mechanic here?
Yes, I am.
I've got a 1946 J3 Cub, and I was wondering if you were qualified to do an oil change on it.
I can handle it for you.
Okay. Kind of a strange question. Would you mind if I saw your license?
Are you with the FAA?
No.
Okay, I just thought I'd ask. Last time somebody asked, it was an FAA inspector conducting a ramp check.
They're supposed to tell you, aren't they? All right, let's look here.
The AMT certificate looks like a pilot certificate, except it will say mechanic in the privileges section on the front side. The back of the certificate will list the mechanic rating. An AMT can hold an airframe, power plant, or both. In this example, the AMT holds the airframe and power plant ratings. This information is important for you to know. Assure the AMT is certified for the work to be performed.
Also, a couple months I'm going to have to do an annual. Can you do annuals?
I hold an inspection authorization, so I can do the annual for you.
Okay. I should have asked at the same time. Can I
Not a problem.
see that too?
Have it right here.
The yellow card is the inspection authorization certificate. The front of the card lists the AMT's name and certificate number. The back of the card lists the expiration date for this certificate. Also, you will see the name and FAA office for the FAA inspector who renewed this certificate. Although the FAA endorses the IA certificate for a 2-year period during the month of March, each odd-numbered year, the IAs are responsible for meeting the training or activity requirements required to continue their privileges into the second year of their authorization. Aircraft owners should inquire if the IA meets this currency requirement. If you have any questions concerning IA renewal, please contact your local Flight Standards District office or your district FAA Safety Team Program Manager.
All right. So you got the manuals and everything to work on the J3, and
Yes, sir, I do. Have all the technical data. I keep it on a microfiche, updated every 2 weeks.
okay. Well, if you got a card, I'll
Yeah, as a matter of
call
fact,
you
I
back
do.
and schedule that.
There you go.
All right. Thanks.
Hey, I appreciate it. Good to meet you.
Take care.
You might not know it, but aircraft maintenance records are an important part of aviation safety. It's the aircraft owner's responsibility to maintain proper aircraft records. On that note, I've got some questions for you. Do your aircraft records look like this? A manila envelope stuffed with loose leaf papers, faded receipts, business cards, and oil changes written on sticky notes? I bet it's practically falling apart. This video will help you organize and understand your aircraft records.
First, you start by contacting the FAA Aircraft Records Branch and requesting the historical airworthiness and registration data that they have on file for your aircraft. This includes any supplemental type certificate information that is ever applied to your aircraft, or FAA Form 337, which is the Major Repair or Alterations Form. You want all maintenance documents ever submitted on the airplane. Next, go to the FAA.gov website to get a type certificate data sheet for your aircraft, power plant, and propeller. Once you have all this data, you are now ready to put together a well-organized set of maintenance records for your aircraft. Organized records are not mandatory, but are beneficial. You should start by separating the records into 5 main categories: airframe, power plant, propeller, accessories, and supplemental type certificate data if applicable. Place each category in chronological order, starting with the earliest date. After separating the records, review and document the makes, models, and serial numbers of the 5 categories for each component. After you have listed this information, take a trip to your aircraft to verify the information matches that of your aircraft and its installed components. You may need to schedule some of these items to be verified during the next scheduled inspection. Returning to your records, starting with the earliest documents from each category, review and list the dates and times of all inspections, airworthiness directives, and service bulletin compliances. List all aircraft component changes, major repairs, and alterations. If you discover documents of items that are no longer installed on your aircraft, place them aside for safekeeping. Upon completing this step, you now have a historical document listing the maintenance history of your aircraft.
You can now use this information to help conduct a closer review of your aircraft flight manual. In the upcoming episode 4, we'll show you how to research ADs on www.faa.gov. Now, go fly with confidence. Researching airworthiness directives can be a crazy and hectic process. You may be asking, why do it? Isn't it my aviation maintenance technician's responsibility? Yes, aircraft maintenance techs should conduct an AD search during an inspection. However, the purpose of this video is to show you how to search ADs that affect the aircraft you fly and add this knowledge to your pre-flight inspection to reduce your risk of an accident.
Regardless if you own, rent, or fly a friend's aircraft, the pilot in command is responsible to determine the airworthiness of the aircraft before flight. ADs are an important part of this determination process. What are ADs? An AD is an important tool used by the FAA to communicate unsafe operating conditions relating to aircraft and aircraft equipment. Each year, people die in aircraft accidents due to a lack of AD compliance. Obtaining and applying the knowledge of the ADs that affect your aircraft you fly to your pre-flight inspections will reduce your risk of an aircraft accident. So for your safety, let's get started. Start by logging on to the FAASteam.gov. While you're there, take time to register so you can access other online safety training. You'll receive notices of upcoming safety events in your area, provided by the FAA Safety Team. Also, consider participation in the online Wings Pilot Proficiency Program and the Aviation Maintenance Technician Award Program. From the FAASteam.gov, click on the FAA Home tab at the top of the page. To make it easier to access the AD search, just click on the Airworthiness Directive link under the Regulations and Guidelines section. Now, click on the current AD search option. Then select By Make or By Appliance link. This will allow you to search ADs for your airframe, power plant, propeller, and appliances. In our example, we'll be searching the ADs for a Piper PA-28-161. This search will not include the power plant, propeller, or appliances. However, you can use these steps shown in this video to search these ADs. Start by clicking the By Make link. At the top, click the P for Piper. Scroll down the list until you find Piper aircraft, and then click the arrow next to it. Now, scroll down the Piper models list and click the arrow next to the PA-28-161 model. Once you've opened the list, you'll be able to review the ADs that apply to this airframe. You will need to conduct a separate search for ADs that apply to the power plant, propeller, and appliances. Remember, appliances are things like magnetos, alternators, heaters, prop governors, and avionics equipment. Once you have completed the search for all ADs that affect your entire aircraft, review your historical document cover page you developed in Episode 3, Know Your Aircraft Records. This information will help you determine the status of the ADs that apply to your aircraft. Look for dates, times, and methods of compliance. Never accept the term previously complied with. PCW is evidence that an AD has been completed. It is not an adequate compliance statement and can put you at risk. Okay, now you have a current list of ADs on your aircraft. So let's apply this knowledge to your pre-flight. During our search, we discovered that AD 81-23-05 is a one-time AD applied to our aircraft. Although our records indicate this AD was in compliance, it's a simple task to raise a rear seat to verify compliance. Here you can see the boards installed. The records of this aircraft indicate AD 81-23-05 had been complied with 20 years prior to this in-flight fire. The accident investigation revealed the aircraft had been taken out of compliance during an interior change 4 years prior to the accident. We understand that all items ADs affect aren't easily seen, but for those that are, should be added to your pre-flight inspection to check for the affected item's condition.
The pre-flight inspection is the last opportunity to determine the aircraft's airworthiness before flight. Knowing the status of the ADs that apply to the aircraft you fly allows you to fly with confidence. Rather safe than sorry. You've heard that saying before. You can also apply this to your aircraft. Improper maintenance and inspections are caused by not following proper procedures. Loss of power is a major contributor to accidents. This video, Knowing Your Power Plant, will assist you during the pre-flight and help reduce your risk of accident or incident.
You should always use a checklist to assist during the pre-flight. Although the checklist is a guide and addresses the basics, this video will show new items you should add to your checklist to improve your safety. There are many different kinds of aircraft, and each is unique in what you can see and feel during the pre-flight. The main thing to remember is to actually inspect using your hands. Or you could say, look with your hands. Be sure to use caution when the engine is hot. The idea is to firmly hold the installed components in your hands. Touch the items that you can reach and attempt to move them. Visually inspect the condition of all rubber shock mounts, clamping hardware, and wiring. Inspect for cracks, missing, or broken components. Inspect fluid hoses for security and leakage. These could be signs of a pending failure that could lead to a loss of power resulting in an accident. Anytime you conduct a pre-flight and you discover a loose item, missing, or that appears to be routed the wrong way, it may be subject to chafing or burning. This is not a good thing. You should have it evaluated before flight, and if needed, have it corrected by an aviation maintenance technician before flight.
Now you're done. You're ready for flight? You made sure that safety was your top priority. Stay tuned. The next episode will show how to properly run up your engine. Now go fly with confidence. The propeller is one aircraft component that takes the most abuse, but it's also the component that receives the least amount of inspection time. From the time you start the engine, the propeller is trying to tear itself from the airframe with a combination of twisting, bending, and centrifugal forces. This video teaches a more detailed propeller inspection that, when applied to your pre-flight, will raise the level of safety.
The importance of a thorough propeller pre-flight inspection cannot be overemphasized. In this example, we're looking at constant speed props. On a constant speed propeller, start your propeller pre-flight by applying a twisting force to each blade, checking for looseness in the hub. Next, you should apply pressure forward, aft, and in an up and down motion, again checking for looseness in the hub. An additional propeller inspection item is to place your hands on the front and back of the blades and slowly move from the blade tips inward to the hub, feeling for any abnormal bumps or deformities in the blades. If you feel either of these two items, it is possible the blade has been straightened from previous damage. If the records review you conducted doesn't indicate that the propeller or propeller blades have ever been straightened or repaired, seek the assistance of a propeller shop or aviation maintenance technician. Continued operation could lead to an in-flight propeller failure. While inspecting the mounting hardware for the propeller to the power plant, apply a lifting pressure checking for movement. Oil leaks can be evidence of failing seals or hardware. Also check for oil leaks where the blade enters the hub. If any of these indications exist, again, seek the advice of an aviation maintenance technician. While moving your hands slowly along the leading and trailing edges of the blades, you should be inspecting for any roughness created by the blades hitting objects. This is an important part of your propeller pre-flight inspection because even small nicks, dents, or scratches can develop into propeller blade failure. Our recommendation is for you to have the blades inspected and repaired by an aviation maintenance technician prior to flight. Apply Applying the same techniques for inspecting the blades on a constant speed prop can be applied to a fixed pitch propeller, except there will be no inspection for looseness in the hub. While inspecting the mounting security of the propeller blade to the power plant, as with the constant speed propeller, inspect for oil leaks at the prop flange. An oil leak at that location with a fixed pitch propeller could indicate a failed power plant component. If your aircraft is equipped with a propeller spinner and bulkhead, while looking behind the bulkhead, apply light pressure to the spinner, checking for looseness and listening for abnormal popping noises. Either of these two items could indicate an unsecured or broken spinner or spinner bulkhead. Look for evidence of cracks coming from the bulkhead where the propeller installation hardware attaches. If you detect any of these items, do not operate the aircraft until an aviation maintenance technician has evaluated it.
Hey, how you doing?
Dave Kane.
Steve, how you doing?
Good. You know, a mechanic here?
Yes, sir, I am.
I've got a 1946 J3 Cub. Need to have a little bit of work done. Can you do that?
Yes, I can.
Over the course of this video, I hope you've realized how easily the integrity of the propeller can be compromised. Now, go fly with confidence. From the AMT to the aircraft, you've learned how to go beyond the minimum level of safety. This video will show you additional techniques you can apply to the final part of your pre-flight, the run-up.
Familiarize yourself with the airport layout. This will help you prevent a possible runway incursion. During the run-up, it is important to follow step by step the aircraft checklist. Reach out and touch each item of the checklist references. This will prevent you from missing an important step, ensuring a safer flight.
Master switch on, verified, gyros set, they are.
It's important to check for smooth operation of the engine and prop controls. Ensure the power plant indicating instruments are operating in the correct ranges. During the magneto check, while the RPM is at the highest, pause and check for abnormal vibrations. These vibrations could be signs of a pending power plant or propeller failure.
Skyhawk 721, Charlie Tango, clear to land number 2, traffic to follow on short climb.
If any possible problems are detected, return to the ramp and seek the assistance from a certified aviation maintenance technician.
Nothing is worse than hearing about an accident that could have been avoided by simple pre-flight safety techniques. This video series, Safety is No Accident, pre-flight series, is designed for this purpose.